Who are we? BG Laboratory is a contract research organization, a CRO, or an external laboratory analytical testing facility that provides analytical testing, and our niche is to provide data in 24 hours to our clients. And we have an array of testing done: thermal analysis, product testing, and unknown sample identification are just a few. The concept of BG Laboratory came from my passion for research and chemistry, my love for solving problems, and my desire to make money doing what I love. So growing up, I was told that I would either be a private investigator, a great inventor, and I always thought, why choose? With BG Laboratory, I could make money while I sleep. So the idea came from one night I was driving back from University of Maryland. So I did my doctoral in analytical chemistry, and I was doing autism research. And I was finding myself on the road all across the eastern seaboard, traveling between University of Maryland, Penn State. And although I benefited from the collaborations, there was a lot of time and resources wasted with me having to go from laboratory to laboratory. Delaware State didn't have the capabilities or the instruments for me to get everything done in one unit. And so I realized that there were no analytical chem labs within a 45-mile radius of Delaware State University. And so that brought me to where I am today. So why would Dover be a great, or Kent County be a great place for an analytical chem lab? It's the location. It's the centralized. It's the center of our great state. And so several local businesses could benefit from having an analytical chem lab right next door. And we have 3 active research facilities, including Delaware State and Delaware Technical Community College, that would benefit from a research facility right next door. So I did my research in the market to find out, is there a demand for contract research organizations, or CROs? And the answer is yes. There are a lot of reasons why companies outsource, but the 2 big ones are time and money. A lot of companies don't have the time to do in-house laboratory testing, to train new people, and the resources, the cost of having to buy the equipment and then train someone in running the equipment is also a big reason for outsourcing. And so the global market is expected to grow 14% over the next 3 years, and BG stands to make over $2.25 million in its first year. So how do we make our mark? 3 ways. State-of-the-art equipment with automated instruments to run samples overnight, hence the idea of making money while I sleep, and hiring experienced staff. And the third is really important, is to build an infrastructure for uploading data for our clients to be able to access from remote locations within that 24-hour period. So that's how we can stay to our 24-hour commitment. And we have some potential challenges moving forward. So we want to be able to align our capabilities and our services with what our clients need. We need to be able to gauge what it is the clients need right away, starting up. We need to be able to maintain flexibility in our business plan. So we want to be able to accommodate services, different services. So X-ray diffraction, if we see that we have a big move in thermal analysis or X-ray diffraction, we want to be able to take our resources and put it towards where the money's coming in. And the third is one of the most important, and it's setting our costs based on the services provided and not on our competitor prices. We're offering something that no one else is offering, which is 24-hour service, and so our prices should reflect what we're giving back to our clients. And so BG Laboratory will serve the community by providing jobs and research opportunities for graduates and undergraduates, and also can serve as a building block for a lot of the STEM programs that are in the local high schools. Our customers are going to be our large pharmaceutical companies, DuPont, AstraZeneca. They do a lot of outsourcing. Law enforcement, we can do unknown sample identification. Medical laboratories and even small local businesses would benefit from BG Laboratory Services. So moving forward, what we have is we have a detailed business plan. We have a huge vision, and we have postdocs ready to get in and get to work. But what we need from the community is board members. We need investors, and we need exposure. So I think that this program is great for getting us out there and, getting us amongst people who have connections and contacts with other businesses. And so the big takeaway for BG Laboratory is BG Laboratory will provide analytical solutions for our clients in 24 hours. That's our niche. That's what we want everyone to know, is that you'll get your solutions in 24 hours. And so I thank you. And this is a quote that I found that I really love, and it says, "Allow your passion to become your purpose, and it will one day become your profession." That's it.
Great job. Are there any questions for Kim?
Thank you, Queen. Actually, the 24-hour service point sounds remarkable to me for what I, as a layperson, would think has to go into doing something like an unknown substance to absolute identification. But I would think those same clients that you mentioned, as well as other clients that you'll pick up over time, may not always need 24-hour. Do you have a resource? I mean, that's change left on the table. If you can do it slower for less, but it's in downtime more or less, and still use your motto of 24 hours, but they know that you can do stuff that is non-critical on a different pattern. It seems to me there's extra change to be picked up there.
And there is. And so initially starting up, that might work, but it might be more cost effective for then that company to say, outsource to another company that would be able to do it. There would be no cost benefit for them to come to us right away for a 24-hour service if they need it in 3 weeks. Then that's where our competitors, might be able to pick up. We'll take whatever comes in, but
they're already hooked on you because of 24 hours. If
yes.
You can do it in 24 hours well, you can do it in 2 weeks well as
yes.
well, right?
Yes.
So I don't see where your competitors would have I think you'd have a real leg up on the whole process if you're willing to entertain that.
Well, I thank you. Yes. Thank you.
Other questions?
And okay, so STEM is, there's a huge push for STEM programs now with the local. It's getting out there and getting high school and elementary kids involved with science and technology. And so what my plan was to actually form partnerships with the local schools and actually have summer programs or short programs so we can have students come in and learn about technology. There's a huge need for students and students that are prepared to go into the workforce and to get started. I find that a lot of the high schools now are having difficulty with getting students out and getting them ready for work. Some students want to go to college, but other students just need to get out and get a job. And so I feel that we could somehow form a partnership with the local schools to get kids in there, with some summer programs. But the details of it, I haven't quite worked out, but I really have a passion to get out there and get young kids involved. Yes. Yes, so we have buildings. It's a 5,000 square foot building on Division Street in Dover. And so it's under renovation. There needs to be renovations made for it to be lab ready. So we do have a location. The work needs to be done on the location, and so that's where we are now. We've started renovations, we just haven't completed them. The cost of the equipment. So our startup costs are about $600,000 for startup, but the equipment, to lease the equipment, is about $200,000 per quarter. So that's for 3 months. That's for the startup for the first quarter, is about $250,000. And that includes the cost of the equipment and those maintenance contracts that go with the equipment. The maintenance contracts cost as much as the equipment itself. Yes. You're welcome.
Any other questions for Kim? Brenda?
Good morning. Congratulations.
Oh,
And
thank you.
for allowing your passion to become a part. So, a couple of things. So,
Yes.
you're seeking, and I saw the screen, you're seeking.
Yes. So currently we are, I have some relationships with faculty from Delaware State University that are already excited about the chance to have an alumni actually get started with the program. So those are the relationships that I've built so far. And so now I'm out at business conferences and trying to get out there and get people interested and involved with the startup of BG Laboratory to get board members and investors on. So angel investors would be great. Mhm. Yes. Okay, so briefly, we would take samples. So samples of, let's say that we had unknown powder identification. So a laboratory got a powder and they want to know what it is. We would take the powder and then we would actually we would scan something, and this is where the infrastructure comes in. We would then scan that powder saying that at this time is when we accepted the package, and then that's when our 24-hour timeline would start. We would accept the package. We would then upload the data into our server and run the samples. Once the samples are run, we then put the data into a program that would allow our clients to access that data, the raw data, immediately or within that 24-hour period. So we accept the samples, we scan them in so that the customers can see what time we received the samples, and then once we're finished, we would also scan it again so that they saw what time it was finished. And then that was it. We'd send the samples back, or they would come back and get the samples. They could actually come and pick up the samples. Yes, so we have a financial breakdown for how we would charge. Typically, for X-ray diffraction, our competitors are charging anywhere from $150 to $200 to, say, do X-ray diffraction. We set our price at maybe $250, $300. We have a price set already in our breakdown, and so it's per sample or depending on the machine, the amount of time it takes. So it's really dependent on the equipment that they're asking us to run the samples on. X-ray diffraction is really quick, so we would charge you just per sample. We'd run the sample and charge you a flat rate. When you get to liquid chromatography or gas chromatography, it takes a little bit longer to run those samples, and so we have to then charge by the hour. And so we have those prices set as well. Yes, so starting up, our core group of researchers or our analysts would be experts in their field. So we would have a postdoc who's done at least 6 years work on X-ray diffraction, running the X-ray diffraction. We would have individuals that are experts in their area running in charge of that area. Where the job creation comes in is that we still need lab techs, so people that are not as qualified or need training, and but we need the hands. So we'd be able to give them training on a machine and get them, get them out there making solutions or learning how to do X-ray diffraction or learning how to do, and so actually even doing internships for the summer, having undergrads come in and say, do a 6-week program where we benefit from not having to pay them as much, and they're actually running samples. And so there's different ways that you could train people and then still have the experts in the room to make sure everything is running smoothly. And University of Delaware actually does that. They start training their students from undergrad. A lot of students, I was at University of Delaware for my undergrad, and a lot of students start their internships in the undergrad level. And so you don't have to wait until grad school to start getting in there and getting your hands wet. Yes.
Have you set a timeline, a realistic timeline to actually be up and open for business?
Yes. So our timeline for opening the business is going to be in the fall. We're looking to secure our board members and our investors throughout the spring. The renovations on the shop are actually not that much. And the leasing, a lot of the companies that I've already spoken to about the machines are already ready to come down. So they would only need a 2-week window to actually get us up and running and trained on the equipment. And so by the fall, we're looking to open our doors. No problem. Thank you. It's not that they can't do it. So it's not that they can't do it. If my focus is creating drugs for curing cancer, my focus isn't on running little samples here and there to just keep the lab rolling. When you're focused on pharmaceuticals or when you're focused in medical devices or anything like that, your focus is in research and development. You want to create something new. You want to create something innovative. You don't want to spend time running samples to see how well this sample, say, holds up in 97 degrees. You could just outsource it. So it's not that they don't have the capability. It's just not cost effective for them to spend time doing the day-to-day sample running when they have huge commitments to drug development, things like that. With technology today, not that I'm aware of, there aren't any substances on this earth that we don't, to some degree, know where it comes from or what it is. Especially with chromatography, with how far we've come with chromatography, we could split a protein that's huge down to the atom using mass spectroscopy. There's nothing on the face of this earth that we can't find, and there's usually a library. So I'm trying to think of something. Let's just say you have a powder and it's copper. Let's say it's copper, and you put the copper through the machine. copper's been run so many times. Is you have key groups that are identifiable for any material, and so it's not that it can't be done. It can be done. It's having the resources to do it. So having the right amount of equipment to make sure that we could do it. There's nothing that we can't find, and we have a huge database that would allow us to identify groups and identify them quickly. A backup? That's actually a good question. And so one of the things that we had in our business plan was to perhaps say they get a certain amount. So we'll work something out where you've given us a product, we said we'd give it to you in 24 hours. We can't make our deadline, like maybe a machine went down or something, and we can't do it, then we offer you, we'll compensate you in some way.
We have a question over here.
So my question is sort of like the ladies over there. So what you're saying is that there isn't really any type of analysis that can't be done in 24 hours.
If you, for raw data,
Like I'm thinking more like, okay, say like when they do autopsy, and they say it's going to be 6 weeks before we can get the results. Is that because
it's not because they can't find it, it's because somebody's sitting with a bunch of paperwork on their desk, and so there's other things that are in the way. But it's not that we can't identify, like a tox test or tox screening. It's not that we can't find out right away what's in the blood. It's that I've got 30 other things sitting on my desk, and my focus is I have other things that I have to do. Our sole purpose is running samples. We are here to just run samples, and so we could get you your results in 24 hours. Now, if you need us to, say, write a report, the report writing would be an additional cost or may take additional time, but the raw data will be available for you to upload, upload, I always mix it up, download to our clients within 24 hours. Say that one more time. Yes. Now that would be entirely up to the client. We'll have the capability to actually draw up a report if you'd like a report. But a lot of clients, if they're just screening, a lot of clients just need screening. They need to know, is there magnesium in the water? Is there cyanide in the water? Is there something? They just need to know. Yes or no. They could look at the information themselves and answer that question. If you need us to write a report, though, we'd be able to do that. But that would be an additional cost, and it could take more than 24 hours to do something like that. No, as a client, there wouldn't be an additional cost to them being able to download. As a client, the benefit of coming to us is that we're giving you access to your data. It's their samples, it's their data. They can have it. And so we just want to make it easier for them. We would still ship. Yes.
Linda?
Yes. So a key thing with selecting our board is you want a board with a diverse background. And so we would have an accountant on the board, we would have an attorney on board, we would have experts in the field on the board, and then we'd also need our business, our marketing and sales representative on our board. So we're looking into people with diverse backgrounds to move BG forward.
So in existing businesses such as yours, have you looked at and researched and done a feasibility to look at some of your pros and cons of their
Yes, I've done my research on Micron. Micron is our closest competitor, but I don't have all the data in front of us. But they are our closest competitor. They're in Newark, and they're doing pretty well, but they don't offer 24-hour returns. So I thank you. I had a great time, and thank you.
And grow your business.
Exposure. You know, I have a ton of business cards here, and I'd like each person to take one with them. Talk about BG. If there's anything that you have, a specific need that you have, or feel like BG could fill, if there's something that we could do, let us know. Get the word out, and I'm always excited to take recommendations. If you have a recommendation, I welcome comments, and I thank you again.
Thank you.